for this coaster you will need a hook. I'm using the Tulip Etimo Red in a 3.5. You will need some yarn. I have chosen the Ricorumi Spin in turquoise. You will need some scissors, a darning needle and a stitch marker just to count your stitches. Let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do is make a magic ring. So lay the yarn over your hand like this, twist it around the top 2 fingers, turn your hand, make a cross, and then you go under the first bit, over the second bit, just hook it and pull. Then when you're through, twist, and then you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull that through your loop. And that is your magic ring, okay? And now we need to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So to do a single crochet, you literally poke, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through both. So poke, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull through both. Poke, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull through both. That's 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6. Now we're going to tighten our magic ring by pulling this tail like that. Now we're going to do an increase. So an increase is the same as a single, except we're going to put 2 in the stitch. So an increase would be just 2 singles, so just poke, yarn over, pull through both, and then into the same stitch you poke, yarn over, pull through both, and that's 2 in there, so that's an increase, and you just do that in every single stitch. So by the end you should have 12 stitches. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we have got 12. Right, so now into the next stitch we're going to do a single crochet. So that's your poke, your yarn over and pull, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're going to pop your stitch marker in. And then you're going to do a double crochet. Now a double crochet is you yarn over first, then you poke, then you yarn over and you pull. And you should have 3 loops on your hook. So you yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then you need to do a treble crochet. So we yarn over twice, then you put it in the same stitch, yarn over again and pull it through. You should have 4 loops on your hook. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your treble. And then into the next stitch we're going to do another treble. So yarn over twice, poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Then we have got another double, so you just yarn over once, you poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we've just got a single crochet. So for our single crochet we just poke, we yarn over and pull through both loops. And then into this next stitch we've got a slip stitch. So a slip stitch is literally you just poke, you pull, and then you've got 2 loops on your hook, so you pull the first one through the second one, and that is your slip stitch. And then into the next stitch we have got a single, so you poke, you yarn over, pull through 2. Then a double, so you yarn over once, you poke, yarn over, pull, should have 3 loops on there, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And then we treble, so you yarn over twice and you poke it into the same stitch, yarn over, pull, and then you yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then into the next stitch we've got another treble, so yarn over, poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then we've got a double into the same stitch, so we're going to yarn over once, poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we've also got to get a single in there, so poke, yarn over, pull yarn over, pull through 2, and then into this next stitch we've got a slip stitch, so just poke, pull, and then get this loop through this loop like that, and then into the next stitch we have got a single crochet, so you're just going to poke, yarn over, pull through both, then a double crochet, so that's yarn over once, poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then you've got your treble, so yarn over twice and poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then into your next stitch you've got another treble, so you're going to yarn over, poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then your double, so just yarn over once and poke, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then your single, so you just poke, yarn over, pull through 2, and then your slip stitch. So you're just going to poke, yarn over, pull this one through this one. Okay, and that is the pattern that we're following for this round. So I'm just going to tell you the stitch now. I'm not going to do in-depth instructions, so we're going to do a single, and then in the same stitch a double, and then in the same stitch a treble, and then in the next stitch we're going to do a treble, then in the next stitch, in the same stitch, we're going to do a double, and then we're going to do a single in the same stitch. This is what gives it the petals. And then in the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch, so poke, pull that one through that one, and then into the next stitch we're going to have another single and a double and a treble, and then in the next stitch we're going to have a treble, a double and a single, and in the next stitch we're having a slip stitch, and then in the next stitch we have got a single, a double and a treble, and then in the next stitch is a treble, a double and a single, and then into this stitch here just before the start of the new round we've got a little slip stitch. Now isn't that a very pretty little flower? Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 8, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to slip stitch into the same slip stitch on the round below. Okay, so we're just going to do a slip stitch into there, come on, and then we're going to chain 8 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch, so into the next slip stitch on the other side of the petal, just in there we're going to do another little slip stitch. Oh, come on. And then we're going to do another 8 chain, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to slip stitch into the slip stitch from the row below again, there we go, and then we're going to chain 8 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to slip stitch into the slip stitch from the round below, so this one here. This is a repeat, so we're doing the same till we get back to the start. And then we're going to chain 8 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to slip stitch into the slip stitch from the round below, so there. And then we're going to chain 8 again, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to, oh look, we're back at the start, so we're going to just slip stitch back into this one here. And that is the end of round 5. Doesn't it look so cute? Now what we're going to do is slip stitch into this chain space. So we're just going to put the hook in, yarn over, pull, yarn over and pull through there. And what we're going to do, we're going to start this round with a chain 3. So 1, 2 and then 3. Sorry, might have been off camera then, sorry. And what we're going to do is 11 doubles into this chain space. So remembering that a double, I'll show you again in a second. Yarn over once, poke, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2 doubles. 3, 4, 5, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Oopsie, 11. And then what we're going to do next is, oops, sorry. We are now going to do 12 DCs into this chain space. So that's just the next chain space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and then we're going to do 12 double crochets into the next chain space, so that's this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and we're going to do exactly the same for the rest of the chain spaces. So we're going to do 12, 12, 12, okay? And so I've just got the last double left on this one, and then what we're going to do is slip stitch into the third chain, okay? So slip stitch into 1, 2, 3 into there. There we go, and that is round 6 finished. So now we're on to round 7. So we're going to slip stitch across to the next stitch, which is actually this one, even though it's a bit confusing, it is that one. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet 8. So we're going to poke, pull, yarn over, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've just realised I've got to put the stitch marker in at the beginning, but that doesn't matter. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It can go in there. And then what we're going to do next is we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to skip 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to single crochet 8 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to skip 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go into here, and we're going to do 8 more singles. So the repeat here is 8 singles and then chain 4, skip 4. And then I'm just on the last chain 4, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet to join this round, and that is the end of round 7. So you should have something that looks a little bit like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and we are going to single crochet 8. So chain 1, and then we're going to do 8, so we're going to use the same stitch, and we're going to single crochet 8. So that's 1. Put your stitch marker in, don't forget like I do. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we've got 8. And then in this chain space, we are going to do 6 singles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do 8 singles again. So we've got in that one there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then in our chain space, we're going to do 6 singles again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to do 8 singles again, and I just want to point out this little bit here is actually the first stitch. Okay, it looks a bit tricky, and I think some people might quite often just go onto this one, but it is actually this one here. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we've got 6 singles into the chain space again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6. And then we've got our 8, remembering this little one down here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we've got 6 into our chain space, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we've got 8 across our stitches here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we've got 6 into the chain space again, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then we've got another 8, so remembering that little stitch doesn't get lost down there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we've got 6 into our last chain space, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then what we're going to do is slip stitch into the first stitch from the round, and this is where we're going to fasten off. So this is our coaster. Isn't it gorgeous? Lovely little hexagon with a flower in the middle. I think it would look really cool if you did 2 different colours as well. There we go. And then what we need to do is just sew in our ends. Right, so what I do when I sew in my ends, I tend to follow the way that it's going for a couple more stitches. You have to be really careful with magic rings because they really do come undone so easily. And then I use one of these stitches as a post, so that one can be my post, and then I go back the other way, back through the stitches, because I find that if you go different ways, then it's harder for it to undo itself. So I'm going to just go back for a few more stitches. But yeah, I really would take time to make sure that the magic ring is sewn up very well. And then I'm even going to use that as a post and go back the other way just once more. Doesn't even have to be all the way, but just like a little bit. And go back through there. And then I'm going to call that a day and snip it off so that it's nice and tight. And then we've just got this one here left to do, and I'll show you how I do that. Right, so what I do is I tend to go back through some stitches like this, like I go through those 2, and then there's a whole line there that's going to be really easy to go through, so I try to go through those. So I'm going to go under that one and then through all of these like that. Pull it tight but not too tight, and then go back the other way. So here I'm going to use this half of the stitch as a post and then go back in there so that it's got something to latch onto and it won't come all the way back out. And then I'm going to use this one as a post and go back through once more and then snip off the end. Now, if you have made your coaster out of cotton and you want it to sit flatter, I mean, I'm quite happy with mine considering you're just going to put a cup on it anyway. You can actually iron it, which is why I don't use acrylic, or you can use a blocking board, or you can spray it and then let it dry. So yeah, that's my flower coaster. I hope you like the pattern. Tag me in anything you make, so I like to see what everyone else makes, and thanks for watching.